Yo, what's good, fam? You're watching D&D. On today's episode, our call wants us to know what not to do when you want to make it in the creative industries. We delved into, number one, treating yourself as a business and paying attention to the temperament that you need to have in order to succeed. And number two, how you need to view every single interaction you have, whether professional or personal, in your own life for success. So sit back and don't forget to dial and help us help you discover. Let's talk about a Sunday. Congratulations to your last week's Sunday.
Shout out, my brother.
That was huge,
Shout
bro.
out.
Miss South Africa.
Yeah, that's on
very
God.
fire.
That's on God.
It's funny how we don't even talk about the set anymore when it comes to Robot, right?
We take time on that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and he takes time on it too.
Yeah, because you know that you teach people how to treat you.
Yes, but you need to then understand that you can't have too many conversations where you literally dumbing down on the value that you've worked hard to create.
I really loved working with that camp because I learned so much about the actual back end of the business. So this now comes in,
a corporate space, you cannot do certain things.
and it's almost like I don't understand people actually understand that we're in business here. Like the more agile you are, the better you respond. You want to go into more business and make more money.
When you step out as an artist, you must have a code of conduct.
Right.
And most artists don't have
a
that.
code.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of D&D, that is Dial and Discover. And I'm with my brother here, Sian Kluma.
What's
How
up,
you
bro?
doing, brother?
Bless.
Good. And I'm yours truly, Calvin Mercy. How's your week been, bro?
Been good. Been very blessed as usual. You know what I'm trying to say. So it's interesting because we record in the middle of the week, so it's like, how has my?
Yeah,
So it's the
but it's still in the week. Bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
facts.
saying?
It's been going good.
Yeah, it actually is. By this time, you've already kind of gotten
The
bit
flow.
done.
Yeah.
I think
Do your week start on Sunday or Monday?
it depends.
Fair.
It
Because
depends.
you could be on road or you could be like on okay.
But solidly Monday, I go top of Monday and I run to the Sunday.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Let's talk about a Sunday. Congratulations to your last week's Sunday.
Shout out, my brother.
That was huge,
Shout
bro.
out.
Miss South Africa. Like
Yeah.
that was like yo. That was just like high level production.
Yeah.
You can see from the other side of the screen. You had like how many dancers on that stage?
Yeah, we definitely had 10 dances.
Jeez.
Yeah, we definitely.
10 dancers, high level quality production. The set was amazing. It's funny how we don't even talk about the set anymore when it comes to Robot, right?
Yeah.
It's like you expect it to be spectacular, which is a blessing. That's very
That's on
very
God.
fire.
That's on God. I mean, like we work really. We take time on that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and he takes time on it too.
Yeah.
And I think what's interesting is like coming to that is our people like we're not sure what to expect because of the type of stage that we're on. But I mean, it's a build up, and I tell a lot of people like, which is something he says in some interviews. If you watch carefully and listen carefully, it's like the whole thing is like you've got to build up from the back. It's not like when you get it. By the time you get it, you need to be ready.
You've done the work.
You know, so I think when he did, I think probably notably Idols.
Yeah.
It was like, yo, that was so clean and whatever. And I remember us sitting and talking about like, why was that like such a moment outside of Idols being Idols as a platform?
Yeah.
People were just like, no, that performance was so. But it was like, we have been doing it at that level. Like we've been running it at that level. You know what I'm saying? Like we approach like just random venues like that. We approach them with like, yo, okay, we're about to go on in 5. Okay, we rate like this. Okay, the corners of the stage are looking like this. Movement, flow of stage looks like this. So, and it's from something I learned from an associate of mine. Just like in my beginning stage of doing business.
Right.
She always said like, by the time it happens, you must already be prepared.
Cover all your bases.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, which means like, and for a lot of people, it's like this, you want to get ready when it's time.
When it's time. Yeah. It sounds like going on a date with your girlfriend. Like you knew the whole day, bro. Like, why are you getting ready 10 minutes before?
The fastest way to play yourself.
Right. So to that, definitely yesterday's price is not today's price. Is that a real thing?
It's a real thing, my brother.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Because you've done FNB Stadium, 90,000 people.
Yes.
So it's a derby, Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs.
100%.
Idols, not just stage one, like finalists level, you know what I mean?
100%.
Now it's Miss South Africa at the finalists of that too,
Yeah,
you know? So what are the going saying?
Couple arenas, I mean, after that as well. But, I think that's been my challenge. Like, this week's engagement has been on that topic.
Yeah.
Of like, what's the pricing conversation when you know where the value kind of sits? You've got this increase in demand. You've got like high value product or service. Now, how do you approach a pricing change?
Facts.
You know, and you know, to most would kind of be whether surprised or not, I guess. But it's like that's been like a bit of a chat where I'm like seeing how people are approaching this thing. But I guess for the most part, it's like you kind of want to sit in that pocket. Sorry, like people sit in that pocket where it's like they know your value, they're just hoping you don't.
Yeah.
Type of thing. You know. So it has been a tricky one actually, and you know, and I wanted to kind of bring it up even earlier when I saw you, and I was like, yo, what's your take on this thing of like the pricing chat where you've got like a change in demand, you've got a change in demand, and then like how gradually do you change pricing, for example, because you sometimes have activity or moments where your product and service where you have an exponential growth. Right. You go from servicing just your community to servicing a certain group or a certain tax bracket of individuals. Now that changes. You get what I'm saying? Facts. So now how does that flow go? So
how do you navigate that?
How do you navigate that pretty much?
I guess it's a whole chat. Let me ask you this. What or is there resistance you're facing? Because I would assume you change. I mean, like you should change your pricing.
100%.
So when you go from, let's say, 10 Rand to, okay, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, now we charge 40 Rand. Do you generally face resistance because of that? And do you ever know where it comes from? Does the Bruce say, but what do you mean? Do you used to be 10? Or is the resistance like, we don't really believe you're worth 40? Like, where does that conflict really generally come in?
And I think that's the interesting part of the chat. Is like, yes, I do face resistance, right? And like, that's like the biggest thing, like in terms of like, you will face the resistance. It will come. And that's kind of like where I'm also settling into, to the fact that you think it's obvious, you think people know, you think people would know, but at times, like, I'm having to remind individuals what the conversation really is.
Right.
Because one thing that I've learned is that people want to start negotiating at zero. Like
Terrible.
That. Ideally, that's where they want to start.
Because people don't like to pay.
Right?
Ideally,
So yes, I do face the resistance, and essentially now I need to understand
your
my
play.
Value and my play. So I understand the value. Unfortunately for them, I do.
Yes. So and they can't finish that.
But what do you mean? And then they say, well, this is what I mean. And
sorry,
no, I was just gonna say, and you kind of can't go back and forth too much either. You know, because then it's like, are you set in it or are you not?
Or you're not?
And some people might not be as privileged to be in this position. That's also understood. But you need to then understand that you can't have too many conversations where you literally dumbing down on the value that you've worked hard to create.
Facts.
Right.
Facts. Yeah. And I guess this is gonna go for anybody who doesn't necessarily have this insight. So because I like when we get very practical on the show.
Yeah.
So from a practical perspective, so there's one or two things you need to realize. First of all, if you're in any business, you need to have a vision.
100%.
Vision is your ruler. It controls what you're going to take, what your straight line looks like, right? So once you decide, so let's say, for example, the vision of Woolworths versus ShopRite, right? Woolworths' vision is we want to target a middle class to higher class market, you know, that drives a Polo all the way up until the Range Rover, whatever the case is, that earns 25,000 Rand to 30,000 or plus in a month, you know, that comes to the store at least 4 times a week, you know, because they have a family, they might be spending 2,000, 8,000. Cool, great. That's their vision, that's what we stand for. So our logos, our stores, no plastic, just a bag, that whole, those things play to their vision because they know who they're speaking to. Then ShopRite could be on the other side of the scale, right? And the scale just being, we don't need you to earn too much. We don't need you to drive. You can even walk to us. You know what I mean? You can come here once a month and blow 3,000 and it grows for the month because you're taking poo, all those sort of things.
Sure.
Or, you know, you come consecutively over time. So those are two businesses literally in the same business.
Yeah.
But their vision kind of directs what they go to. Yes. The one says we want to go mass. low LSM, which most people occupy, living standard metric. So we're earning 2,000,
the more
3,000.
people can come through the doors, the better for us.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Versus, in fact, us less people but higher spending power.
Yes.
In fact, when we used to do events, Ivy Santor and Nasty C, we always used to make sure that we understand how we price our tickets, because your ticket price actually controls your audience.
Yep.
So if I'm selling you a ticket for $50, best believe my audience will be people who can afford 50 Rand. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't want to talk too much about that audience, but it's not going to be of class or it's a real thing, right? You might have more fights. People might be a lot more like rowdy and so on and so forth.
You're controlling your price also controls barrier to entry.
Absolutely.
And you need to understand to what extent are you
trying to create
are you saying anybody can come in, or are you saying it's so high that nobody can come in?
Yeah, 100%.
Or only 10 people can come in.
Only 10 people can come in. But you're seeing it from here, while the other person's seeing it from all the way back, right? But don't get it twisted. Sometimes the closer ticket is the cheapest one, because it's just $250 for Golden Circle. But that guy's in the back paid $5,000 because he's in the room with the Standard Bank CEO in his box. Free food, free alcohol, free whatever. And to be honest, we love the show. We're not really here. Our main thing is the room.
Yeah.
And not necessarily jumping up and down for
100%.
you. Do you know what I mean? Coming back to Vision.
Barrier to entry by the Golden Circle.
Yeah.
Not that hectic, so that you can get the energy and everything.
And get the access,
and then you make sure that those guys are sorted upstairs.
100%.
Yeah.
So coming back to this whole value chat, I think naturally I would like to believe that we're all going to grow and make more money and our value is going to go up. But you need to understand what your, not just your value proposition is, but what's your vision. What type of brand are you? Do you know what I mean? One guy that I worked with, it was so phenomenal. He came, won an award like Summers Metro's booking pricing from 5,000, 40,000 Rand. Cool, great, you know. Then he went straight to 120,000 Rand, right?
Hectic.
I really loved working with that camp because I learned so much about the actual back end of the business. So this now comes into you, because you know that you teach people how to treat you.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
You teach people how to consume you.
You teach people how to consume you. So that brew had so many gigs and so many brand partnerships coming in on a weekly basis. He turned down 80% of them. I'm talking 50,000. No, we're not going to come there. Hey, please be brand ambassador, 3 million. No, we charge 16 million. Turns it down. And that was a part of his play.
Okay.
Because he understood that my vision says I'm this type of brand that takes these type of deals, but also because word gets around, because the brand directors and leaders, they all sit in one room. Oh, Kelvin Joe, no, Kelvin, don't worry, give him 5,000, he'll do it. So when you try poaching on and say, guys, I only take 15, you'll be like, Kelvin, you just took 5 last week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So you need to be disciplined and stick to the one thing, you know, because eventually those 10 gigs you turn down, that one that takes it could really cover all the others. But most importantly, the word gets around, because don't play when it comes to Kelvin, because yesterday's price is not today's price. Yeah.
Shout out for that last one. I'm going to ask you offline who that guy is. That's super key.
His name is Siam Klung. I'm joking. Yeah.
All right, now let's jump into your first caller off the bat. I mean, it's the pros and cons of good work, as they say.
Yeah.
The things that you deal with as you grow, you know. So I think it's just a space I'd like to learn a lot more of how people navigate around it.
Absolutely.
All right, we're gonna shoot our first caller. Let's see what's going on. Yo, what's good, Pablo?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
And you?
Good. You are live with Sia and Calvin on Dial and Discover.
What's up, bro?
You. Good.
Nah, shout out. Shoot us your question, my brother, off the top. You know, let's get into it.
I just wanted to know what you would suggest that artists should stop doing.
Oh, that's crazy. Like, you know, what's interesting about this question is that we've spoken so much around artistry, musicians, brands,
creatives,
what they should do. We've never spoken about what they should not do.
That's a great question, bro.
I want to come off the top because this is a conversation I have with like quite a few artists. Like, you know, because I consult with quite a few artists in the industry and you speaking on different things. But one of the things that I speak about is, if you're going to be a brand, which is what we speak about, what you need to do, right? If you're going to be a brand, how you carry yourself out in public is very important, my brother.
Yeah.
So now,
Let's talk about it.
So now we go into it.
Yeah.
Because now you have this notion that I'm a creative, you know, I'm this whatever type of artist. I can do whatever because it's cool.
Yeah.
And I said, that's fine. If you're willing to sacrifice the bag that the brand is going to give you, that the corporate is going to give you because you want to do stuff that's cool and that's negative, then go do your thing.
Go about your thing.
Go about your thing.
Yeah.
But you like, you must understand as an artist, when you're building your brand, you get to a space where when you step out anywhere where there's a stage or where you need to make an appearance, that's your office.
Eyes.
You've clocked into work. You've clocked in, right? And I usually say this, and one of the common things that happens in the spaces that we're in is, for example, is drinking.
Yeah.
Right? Very common one. And I know I'm speaking to some people right now.
Yeah. Triggering.
Right. So now you step out, you're in the office, in a corporate space, you cannot do certain things. Now we say we're in the entertainment space, we've got leeway, we can do whatever we want. And now you go into this club, you go to this event or whatever the case is, and you're drinking. You're drinking on the job.
Firstly.
Right? And now, Sia who just walked in is no more Sia who walks out. And then on that day, the brand manager or account manager of whatever was there or is friends with the guy that's running that venue or that event and hears that, oh no, Babalo came in and did this and this and this, and then it ended like this because you were being an artist. You're in the section with your bottles.
You were lit. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things where it's just like the core of it all is that you got to carry yourself the same way Nike and a Standard Bank or whoever has code of conduct. As an artist, you should have your own code of conduct.
Yeah.
That when you step out as the artist, you say you can step out as Babalo on a Saturday when you're with your family. You're fine. You're perfectly fine. When you're at your aunt's house and you know you're washing dishes, you got a beer on the side. Hey man, go do you. That's
do
fine.
your thing. Yeah.
But when you step out as the artist, when you step out as an artist, you must have a code of conduct.
Right.
And most artists don't have
a
that.
code of conduct, which I guess you're speaking to. Just realizing that you're in business because that's where you start, right?
100%.
So the minute you arrive, utlokile.
You've clocked in, my brother. You really have.
So I guess a lot of artists probably don't treat themselves like a business.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
They look at what they are providing, which is entertainment, and make the mistake of treating their business internally as a good joy or a fun time, you know? Some of the most successful artists that I've watched and paid attention to, what they don't do is make that mistake. They're very cognizant of the fact that, I'm a business.
Yes.
So how I pull up, how I dress, how I speak, how I communicate, it's not a big party for me, my boys, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm at work, you know?
Yes.
I've also noticed a lot of the time, like, this whole thing of having fun, again, just specific to artists, having fun in your workplace. Like, you know, when you're in the industry, dog, a lot of bros want to come to your gigs. Hey, Joe, Kelvin, we're going to be boys, come and pull up. They're going to be having a good time. I always think, like, my brother, I don't come to the office with you, go FNB and say, my man, can I sit next to you here and send me some money? You know what I mean? But for some reason, entertainment is almost like it's just a big fun time, you know?
Yep.
So I think that the core principle you're really speaking to is to say, run your operation like a business.
Yes.
Be on time. Act professionally.
Yes.
I'm trying to say, do a correct invoice. Don't delay in your communications. One of my biggest turnoffs right now, we're running a few global campaigns, and we always get asked time frames. This is the most important thing.
Yeah.
What's the turnover? Till this day, when we're working with creatives, I can't definitively answer that question. It saddens me because I always tell my clients, it's an ongoing process. It might take a week, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks.
But I'll keep you updated.
And I'm going to drop one email today to a manager who's going to reply, hi, Mang Mang. I almost dropped the name.
Yeah.
Hi, Mang Mang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking to get you on this campaign for this. Here are the dates, here are the details. 2 weeks later, by the way, within those 2 weeks, I'm bringing up every single person. Because what I do right now is if I email your manager, I'm definitely going on your Instagram and checking out mutual friends.
Yes.
And I'm calling every one of them. Hey, Joe Kelvin, I see you're also following this girl, whatever. Please call her for me directly.
Yeah.
I do that because I can't just rely on the manager alone.
Yep.
If I don't have a number direct, I must do that, or his. If I don't have the number direct, I must do that, because that's how inefficient the business is.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I don't understand people actually understand that we're in business here. Like, the more agile you are, the better you respond. You're going to garner more business and make more money. Like, why am I chasing you if I'm the one who's about to put the bag in your pocket?
I think literally at the core of it, it's like, as soon as you start making money from whatever you're doing, don't not treat it like a business.
Don't not feel like you're not hungry.
Don't do that.
Because people work when they're hungry.
Yeah, 100%, right?
Very straight, very disciplined.
Very disciplined, very in order, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of artists don't do that for sure. I mean, you mentioned some of the elements, like if you come into a meeting where you know you might get cut a check like that's solid,
Yeah.
you're definitely not coming late to that meeting.
You better not.
And that's one of the things like that. I've heard that thing so casually, like, we know it's an artist, it's gonna come late.
Eish.
And I push that. Like, in my camp, it's not a thing. We don't not come on time because we're running a business.
Right.
And if I have to meet with the CEO of such and such, I'm not coming late. So I think that's at the core of, like, we could run a list of things not to do.
Yeah.
But I think at the core of it is that if you're making money from this thing or aspire to make money from it,
Treat
it like a business. And that kind of summarizes a lot of the things that you won't then go out and do, or things that you shouldn't do type of thing.
Yes.
So Papa, I don't know if that kind of helps you and gives you a direction, unless there was something that a little bit more specific, maybe to some specific elements. Yeah,
it does answer my question though.
Yeah.
So to give you something a lot more practical, because I guess we left it a bit open-ended for you, right? So what you should be studying, because you must always remain a scholar, study how great businesses run and bring that into your what not to do in artistry. So the what not to do in business or the what not to do as an artist, essentially. That's how I look at it.
I want to add to that. So on top of what he's saying, this is how coming up as a student, just learning, just watching the game. Make a list of your top 3 artists that you think are big and you aspire to, etc. Watch the things that they don't do.
Yeah.
Watch out for the things that they don't do. Like, one of the artists for me was Coffee. Black Coffee's very meticulous about how he moves, and you can see the things that he doesn't do. Because when you watch, you see the things that he consistently does.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a task I did for myself years back, and I learned a lot from doing that task in itself.
Oh man, Black Coffee is so incredible, bro.
He's really.
I think we should do like we always come up with ideas, right? That's what we do. But we should do like an analysis of great people in different.
Yeah, especially for SA in Africa.
Yeah,
for the guys to look at.
Yeah, like Black Coffee. Here's what you can learn from Black Coffee. Here's because there's so many things that people aren't realizing because the light is so much in front of them. So they don't realize 100%. The back end that you always speak of.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
The back end. That's the name of the show.
All right, my brother. Hopefully that helps you out, and that's some notes that you can take to add on, and even for the guys that are watching.
Yeah.
And good luck to you in your journey as well, my brother.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Okay. All love. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you.
Bless my dough.
One time.
Black Coffee is so great, man. Bro.
Like, he's literally like one of the biggest things that I took from him, and that changed like a lot in terms of like just my perspective of even just how to build an artist.
Yeah.
Was like, and I always say this when I use this example, I'm like, I don't know which documentary it is, but there's a documentary that exists where he literally said, like, at the moment that Black Coffee was the company that he worked for, is when things changed. Nati works for Black Coffee. Nati produces the music, he does the DJing act, and that's his role at the table with other individuals. He clocks in to Black Coffee. That was the change of everything.
Wild.
It's incredible.
So wild.
Because that's a perspective that a lot of artists now don't look. So when you come into this room, you see, because when he steps out, he represents Black Coffee.
Yes.
And it's crazy because that notion itself is just like whether a presidency or CEO,
Yes,
etc.
of course.
When a president steps out, they represent the country. But when they're sitting with the cabinet, they are the president and we are the cabinet and parliament of the country.
Yes.
So in parliament, it's hence why people get shocked when they watch parliament or clips of parliament and somebody's talking to a president in a pretty much like harsh
sideways
way or whatever.
yeah.
And it's like, yo, but that's the president or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, in that room, he's holding a position.
Yeah.
And I'm also holding mine.
Yes.
We are the parliament together. We run the country.
The
together.
vertical traffic
But when
light.
he steps out, he then represents
The
what's
room.
happening here. That very
Profanity.
incredible. That.
So profound.
Yeah.
That's so hard.
I think we'll go straight to second caller as well. Just keep it back to back.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Bakely bake.
You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of guys definitely don't treat it like the business.
Yeah.
They don't.
And also, I think another thing that I like about Black Coffee, like, you know, I've interacted with him a lot, like in so many different instances. And Bruce don't even know half the amount of money that guy has, bro.
No.
Bro, I've been to Cape Town to see Black Coffee parking. I was with you the one time, actually. That's so crazy. Yeah, it's like this car, bro, like there. It's like, hey, sure, Jen. I'm like, yo, this is ridiculous, bro. Like, I know Bruce will be. I know people will post that car in a heartbeat.
People would be shocked. People would be shocked if they knew exactly what's going on. But everybody's paying attention to the wrong thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to the artistry, everybody pays attention to lifestyle. And whereas you're building this thing that can create so much value that you can exchange for so much money.
Yeah.
But you know, entry level to lifestyle is very easy.
Yes. Oh,
entry level to lifestyle
is very, very easy. Yeah.
Where you come in and you have a rider and you've got bottles, it's free. They book you in hotels.
You don't even probably
book the
pay.
piano for you. You know,
poison.
and then you push it and you say, if you want me to come out the country like that, you must book me a private jet. It's very easy to tap into lifestyle, entry level. And most of the guys will fit that bill easily. But like to exchange the value that you hold for the actual check,
right?
That's a different ball game.
Which is why you then have, coming back to the first thing we spoke about, is how do you gauge your pricing and value, and then coming into, like, you know, this artist chat. You will get somebody book you for 100,000 rand. And the bro next to you says, hey, boys, and please put me on with that promoter. And they call the promoter. The promoter says, for you, my brother, I can do 15. And it's like, but why would you do 100 there and give them 6 hotels and a private jet and what? And for me, giving me, you know, 15,000, whatever, and 1 hotel room that I'm sharing with my manager. Right? But it comes down to value. Value. And a large part of it rests on people like you's hands, which is the manager, right?
Shout out.
You need to be able to sell the product.
Yes.
Because the product can only do so much, you know. Tasty guys can only be tasty just sitting on the shelf. You know what I'm trying to say? But it comes down to the value of that and how many people consume it. And so there's metrics, there's a science behind the price points. Yeah. And in creatives, the same applies. Yes. That artist can get all that because, number one, they understand their product and they can sell it properly to the promoter who's paying for the value. You know, it's like you got to tick quite a few boxes simultaneously to get to it.
I think most businesses don't get that part.
Yeah.
Like most businesses don't understand that how important your marketing and branding team is. And hence I say branding team, right? Because especially in today's market.
Do you think branding is more important than marketing?
I think it is.
Okay.
Because branding already does half, if not most of the job for you.
100%.
Because like the branding by Nike is very powerful. They just have a tick. That's it. But off the top, when that tick pops up, you know the value of the product.
Right.
Just because of that.
We need to zone into that. Let's unpack that for a bit, right?
Okay, let's go.
So it begs the question, what is branding, right? Yes. Because the tick is a symbol of the branding. You know what I'm trying to say? Because the branding is just do it. The branding is the people who are just doing it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The
Yes.
branding is, so there's, I think people always people used to think, or probably still do, that branding is a logo.
No. It's one part of
Yeah. So how would you break down the nuances of what branding actually is?
Essentially, branding is all the elements that make up this product or that
Right.
make up the service,
Okay.
right? So, or essentially that make up what this name is about.
Right.
And hence why we even loosely say in society, we say, Sia, you so on brand.
Because it's like you to drop the
It's
cup.
like you. It's your
yes.
character trait to do this.
Key
So
synonym.
what we do is, when you start your branding exercise, is what are your character traits? What are things that you are prone to doing, or you're about, or you like, you love, you're passionate about, you represent, or that represent you?
And then on the flip side, what we look to of those elements to say it's you.
Yes. So now
Right.
when you have those, and now it's the things of these things, when people see these things, they can say, this is so you. That's why for some people, it becomes how they dress.
Yeah.
It becomes how they speak. It becomes something that they carry. Like someone's always wearing a cap. Like we knew, for example, coming up, Neo.
Yeah.
Neo had the hat thing.
Yeah. But we didn't know he had a bigger problem. But well done, Neo.
Right?
Yes,
But,
yes.
he had that.
Yeah.
Some people, it was the tattoo thing. A Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have the grills thing. And I mentioned some common ones that everybody can kind of go
Pick up on.
But like for Nike, one of the things that are not a physical but is there, it's breaking barriers,
Yes.
going against the tide,
Being the greatest.
being the greatest.
Yes.
Supporting what is not common. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So those type of elements you kind of bring in, and then you find different ways for it to be reflected visually.
And for you to communicate it.
For you to communicate.
Right.
Right.
That's so critical, Calvin.
Because then that's where marketing comes in.
That's where marketing comes in. Because marketing is taking the branding to the people.
And communicating.
Communicating.
Marketing is a communication. You understand?
Damn.
So now what happens is that commonly, even when you go from consumer and you have your product or your service, the mistake that a lot of people do, even whether an artist or whether a small business coming up, whether an establishing business, because your service or your product seems to have consumers or whatever, but now you've reached a ceiling. What you don't realize that if you go to marketing without branding, you could communicate incorrectly. You could communicate something totally different.
Or you're communicating something different every other week.
Yes.
Yes.
Like you
Which comes down to our
different
vision
things.
thing from the
Now
beginning.
you're like, I'm spending so much at Sway Digital, and it's not. But no, you keep giving different, and that's why we had to track you back and say we have to build the brand first. Then you're like, but now you want more money from me.
So interesting you mentioned Sway Digital. One of the biggest barriers that we have is we get so many clients who have an expectation of what we do. You know what I'm trying to say? So you guys are a marketing agency. Come in and market, you know what I mean? And we get into a room and we say, cool. We sit in a boardroom, and we say, and this is generally my introduction most of the time, I'll sit with an executive. Great, cool. The next thing I'll do is I'm going to call every single person in that team and put them in one boardroom. Because that speaks to the branding elements. So now, okay, guys, so what does this company stand for? Please, executives, don't talk.
Yeah.
I just want to talk to the employees.
Yes.
Because often they can't even put the vision down. That's if they even have one, right? Because my job relies on you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, yes, marketing is what we do, but what we do is get you to the marketing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that means I must start from the ground up, yes, I build houses, but I'm not going to arrive with my curtains. Hi, Baba. Where's the foundation, the brick, you know what I mean? So I need to run you through all those elements and build it up with you. So the biggest gap is people don't even really know what they're supposed to be doing, which is what our value is
100%.
we're going to put you in position. We're going to give you the nuances of what you need to know. Because one, we learned it the hard way. We've worked with the best, the greatest, and the worst. You know what I'm trying to say? But we have different kind of scopes. And like I always say to you, business is business. So whether I was sitting in a government office, or whether I was sitting with an artist, or whether I was sitting with a car dealership, the nuances remain the same across the board.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I think like most people don't understand the difference, and they get shocked when we bring the understanding.
Right.
I'm always having to tell people to go to the branding chat, and the simplest way, Robert likes to say this in interviews, is he uses the David Beckham example.
Okay.
You know,
which is,
you know, I brought that to his attention at some stage when David Beckham made whatever move, which is that when was the last time that David Beckham played soccer? But he's still David Beckham today.
Till this day.
Right? That's essentially when you build a brand.
Right.
We can use the Nikes and Adidas, and off the top you can be like, but they've got, you know, big budgets around that thing or whatever.
Well, then here's a personal brand.
Here's a personal brand.
Right.
You know, he's David Beckham till today. Whether he puts that on a T-shirt, he puts it on a perfume, he puts it in a Netflix series, he puts his name on a soccer team. He's David Beckham.
That tie-in is so wild.
Yeah.
Because what you advised Upabal on the other call of what not to do as an artist speaks to personal brand. 100%. What you spoke on what Black Coffee does well as an artist speaks to him, Uti Nati, and only when he's in the room he becomes Black Coffee. It always begs. When I started my first business was Siyabonga Mhlungu PTY Ltd.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And people often said to me, that's so arrogant. Why would you name like the company, your business, wada? Or the company after your name?
Yeah.
And I said, this is my first business of many, but the foundation of all those businesses will revolve around me using myself as an example of what your business looks like, which is you. We are all personal brands, like it or not.
Whether you like it or not.
9 to 5, unemployed, or your brand, some brand unemployed. You know, but it's your brand now, bro. You must own it, you know what I mean? Because as an individual, your ID number is your brand identity. That's your barcode, bro.
100%.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So whatever you're doing, just know that you can leave Microsoft today and go work for Apple. But doesn't mean that everything that happened at Microsoft disappears. You could screw Calvin over while working for Microsoft and be singing Apple, and he's in the boardroom and says, not this guy.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because your personal brand is what is at detriment right here. So I always encourage people, the same thing that you're saying early on, invest in understanding your play.
Yeah.
The first vision you must have is your one for your life.
Exactly.
What is my purpose? What am I here for? If you can answer those questions, go out and seek that. Because then you're going to be bumbling and yegaring every single day. You're going to take here and leave here, and it's going to be, woe is me, or the world. But no, my brother or sister, you need to look into yourself and ask yourself, yo, what is my purpose? And most times you just got to look back like, okay, what type of scenarios am I actually doing very, very well in? Yo, every time there's conflict, I can come and help people resolve the conflict, or I can help people communicate, or people always call me when they have their problems. We often complain about our purpose. Yo, Chomi, they're always calling me every day, telling me to help. Maybe that's what you're here for.
That's good.
Maybe you're the counselor. Do you know what I mean? But you're too busy looking at Kim Kardashian's Instagram and thinking why you don't have her height and her heels, and you're missing your calling and your purpose.
That's good.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like at the core of it all, we are all here. The sun rises when it rises for me and you. 24 hours, 24 hours for me and you. So it's like at the core fundamental phase of everything that we do, business, entrepreneurship, life, the common variable is yourself. So 100%. Start there.
Nah, fully agree with that.
Yeah.
Shout out. Thank you for sharing that back part. That's very crucial.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people forget that part. That
yeah.
You are an extension. You literally are a part of what everybody then gets to experience and see.
Facts.
You cannot separate yourself from it at any point in time.
Yeah. 100%.
Unfortunately, we couldn't get our second caller.
So good.
But I think the episode is of value.
Yes.
Which is always most important to us.
100%.
So this was our episode, ladies and gentlemen. Please do continue to like, comment, share, and engage with us. We do appreciate you guys watching and engaging with us. Please follow us on all social media platforms. We try our best to, put the snippets together, get you guys straight to the content. But also, if you want to watch the whole content, it's always here for you guys. Shout out, my brother.
Bless.
This was good. This was very good. I think I might run back this episode.
yeah.
So another episode of Dial and Discover, #DND. One time.
Danko, as well.